Yo, a few days ago, I was looking at my YouTube analytics and I was trying to figure out something I've been trying to understand for years. What is my niche? What am I actually making? Am I meant to be a music creator, a filmmaker, a mentor, UGC creator, if you know what that is? Oh my days, I have so many hats on my head. If you're watching this right now, you're either watching this on my music channel or my lifestyle content channel. So automatically, you might not even know that I do one of the other things, which is mad. If you're watching this video, I'm going to show you how I managed to come to a conclusion of how I want to navigate my life being a multifaceted, multi-hyphenate creative person in 2026. Welcome back to the Slice of Life show. This is a weekly glimpse into the life of a creative person. I'm just trying to figure things out, and you're here just to be nosy and understand what I'm thinking and what I'm going through in my journey. This week, I'm thinking about niches. For the majority of my career, I've been told that success comes down to how far you go in a specific niche. And to be fair, that advice worked well for me. It really did work for me. However, I can tell you that it came at a cost that, honestly, I'm not fully happy with. If you're someone that has multiple skills, multiple interests, and constantly is feeling pressure to pick one and just run with it, this video is going to be for you. My life, I've got multiple boxes to me. We've got the music artist T. Peters. We've got music mentor T. Peters. We've got the producer. We've got the content creator. We've got camera T, because I've got loads of cameras. I love cameras. So photography, videography, that is my bag as well. And then also I'm a gamer as well, and I love tapping into that community as much as I can. Sometimes one of those boxes work really well in my life, and people used to convince me that I needed to just go 100% into that thing and forget everything else. I can tell you this as an example. Here's a big one. In my music career, bro, man had 100,000 monthly listeners. And the reason why I got there is because I was making a specific genre called jazz rap. I would work with producers that mastered the art of making lo-fi beats, jazzy instrumentals, and then my flow, it was almost like a methodology. I would always rap in a similar way. An example would be, I'd say something like, I wake up in the cold, get the dressing gown. My blood boils for the task of never letting down. A really rhythmic, laid back flow. And through doing that, I'd always find myself getting added on playlists from the music industry, trying to give me credit for my work and boost my music streams. You get me? I'd find myself on the biggest playlist ever in terms of the jazz hip hop scene, and I was getting the numbers up. Like I said, 100,000 listeners came my way. However, here's the issue. While I was making jazz rap, while I was rapping in this laid back, cool and collected style, thinking really introspectively, in that same session I would make a song like that, I'd also be making some sort of R&B love song or something a bit more aggressive and fast flowing. I'd have so many different angles of how I could make music, but this one thing was taking over everything. And what it meant was my life was just pushing me into only making that one thing. Suddenly, the team that I had around me was only my team to make jazz rap, meaning that I made a jazz rap business rather than a music business. I wasn't really making the other stuff, or even if I did, it wouldn't get the push the same way as my other art would have got. And I can tell you, some of the songs that I left in the vault because they wasn't on that genre, they were true bangers. Some of them are even coming out to this day. I'm planning to release them now because they're so good. So there's opportunities that were lost because I just focused on that one thing, in my opinion. Now, don't get it twisted. The problem isn't that I dislike making that type of music. That's not the case at all. I still make that type of music. The problem is that I didn't spend time developing my other skills. For example, my singing voice. I love trying to sing, and I was making songs that was heavily R&B, singy kind of songs. They were really good melodies, but I didn't have the voice for it. And I just like to think to myself, if I had just finished those songs or worked on those songs with the same energy as the other ones, my voice would have developed so much by 2026 that I'd be a different type of artist, you know what I'm saying? Even my stage presence as well. It's only so much you can do on stage being laid back. Sometimes I want to learn how to dance or learn how to actually engage the crowd in a different way, and I feel like I missed some opportunities at some very massive shows that I did, not getting to do that part. So you see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's difficult when you just niche down, because if you actually have a passion and a drive to do other things, you miss out on the opportunity of chasing those passions. Biggest example, I have an album called Compliments Side 1. Now, I don't know who's heard that album. If you haven't, cool, but one thing that people tend to ask me is, T, what happened to Side 2? What happened to Side 2? Because I called it Compliments Side 1 because it came at a time where I had just broken up with someone in my team, just let go of them. I didn't want to work with me anymore, and they were actually pushing me to make a certain type of music, and I kind of felt like they were boxing me in. So I decided I'd make a album called Compliments Side 1 as a way to have a side of myself be shown, but have the promise that the next album would be another side of me, and that could be another genre, another vibe. This was like R&B vibes. It was like R&B and hip hop vibes. This topic of this video, that's what I wanted to do a lot. And I thought, all right, I'll put this album out, and then when I do side 2, maybe I'll focus on something a bit more confidence based, like energy, trap drums, high. This is a different type of music basically. I never released that album. I never finished that album because when I did side 1, once again, I got a new manager, I got a new team member. The world was supporting me for this type of music, and so what ended up happening was I just kept trying to make Compliment Side 1 type music and releasing it again and again and again. See what I'm saying? So that is what I'm talking about when I say about niching. So how did I overcome it? Let's talk about that. A few days ago, I was looking at my YouTube analytics, not just this music channel of mine, but also my other ones as well, like my tech channel, where I review tech and make lifestyle based content. So I talk about how products in the world can help our lives, and I reviewed that experience basically. And the videos look mad unrelated. I'm talking about music on this channel, and then on the other channel I'm talking about a backpack that I wanted to review, or headphones, or even this camera. I got camera based content on the thing. But here's the thing about it, I had to deep it. It looks so random, but in reality, all of these things have one thing in common. And that's the idea that this is a guy that is just passionate about sharing a slice of his life. Whether it's my music or me reviewing tech and other things, all I'm doing is explaining to people how my life is working for me. In my music, I might talk about love and how I overcame an issue, or I might just sit in that issue in the song, and then you guys can just listen to that and know this is what T's going through, or it's not even always about me, sometimes about other people, but this is a situation in life. And then in my YouTube channels, talking about tech and stuff, I'm just talking about my life more, but I'm just letting you know that there's this cool piece of tech that fits in my life and why, and that's it. So my niche isn't necessarily a specific thing, it's just giving you guys a slice of my life so that you have something to relate to and you have a soundtrack for your own lives. I'm just providing stuff for life. So that's my niche, but that niche isn't the type of niche that anybody would ever be talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? I think the common denominator of this is that I'm just a very curious person. I just like interesting things and making things seem interesting. In my music, sometimes I have a song about my life and that might be interesting to some people, but then I'll also have a song about an almond croissant and I'll make the almond croissant sound interesting. Listen to my song, Almond Croissant. The almond croissant made me step out the yard. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just a curious guy and I try and make content around my curiosity. I've just come back from Sunderland. We had a work trip where me and my team were at my music charity that I work at. I run a music charity and we help 1,600 young people get more confident in their music careers. And we were specifically there to meet with Sunderland's music scene and try to help them give access to their young people the same way we give access to young people in London, because London, they just have more access than anywhere out of London when it comes to music, right? So I went there for that, but in my head I had this new mindset in my head that, you know what, I'm just living my life out of curiosity, so I'm gonna try and make everything work in harmony. So what I did on the trip was I had my mental hat on for most of the trip, but then when I had a break or when I saw a new opportunity and the mental hat wasn't needed anymore, I was making content for my next music release. I have a song called See You Shining that might be out by the time this video is out. And with that release, I did a whole music video in that area, even though I was there for a whole completely different reason. And then while I was doing the See You Shining music video, I also made one video for my tech lifestyle channel because I didn't need any more shots for the music video and I was just free. I had some free time and I was able to get all of this content done in the space of 2 days, when normally I might keep my mentor hat on, for example, for mad long, wasting time. Sometimes you just sit there with your hat on your head and you think you can't do anything else. And so when things are getting boring or you have nothing else to say, you kind of just don't do anything about anything anymore. But for me, I'm learning how to take my hat off and swap it with other hats, depending on when's the most convenient time to do so and when's the most appropriate time to do so. And that's a skill that I've been picking up over the years, and that's honestly how I've been able to make a living since, I don't even know since how long. It's really been helping me out. So overall, in terms of the slice of life show, my slice of life that I want to give you guys today is this. Maybe the goal isn't to find your niche, not by the normal standards anyway. Maybe it's understanding what your perspective is and what lens you're actually looking through. Because once you do that, trends, they change, careers, they change, interests, they change, but your perspective, that always stays the same. So if you can capitalize on that, I think you'll be a lot happier. If you're watching this channel because you're curious about my life, then I guess that's what this whole channel, this series is about, the Slice of Life show. Let me know if you like that name, by the way. I just thought of it recently. You might not care about every single topic I explore. You might be here for the music, you might be here for the tech, you might be here for the other stuff. But if you're interested in just my curiosity in general, that is why you should probably be subscribing to me, and hopefully we can help each other out in the comment section below. But for me, I'll just say this: listen to some T Peters if you want today. Yeah, if I'm your vibe, then I'm your vibe. That's what that matters really. So I'll see you around. I'll see you next week.